Hey, what's up? Yes, I do have a recipe for back pain. So here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a mortar and pestle. You're gonna need some cloves. You're gonna need some hot peppers, and I have dried ones, but you can use cayenne pepper, crushed red pepper seeds, whatever pepper you have. You're gonna need Vaseline. You're gonna need your stove. I'm using a camp stove today. You need some wax, and you're gonna need some oils. I'm using peppermint and eucalyptus oil. So let's get started. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some cloves into my mortar and pestle here, probably just like a tablespoonful. And these are fresh cloves, and I'm just gonna crunch these up. All right, once you get your cloves pretty ground up, dump them into the pot, and put your hot peppers into your mortar and pestle. All right, once you got your peppers and all that other stuff ground up, you're gonna put this right in here. And unless you're using cayenne, then just put it in. If you're using cayenne, I would say a good starter amount is like a tablespoon or two. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I've got my camp stove on. I've got petroleum jelly or Vaseline. Whatever you have works just fine. Now I'm gonna take generally like about half the container, about this much. What we're gonna do is cook this down until the Vaseline melts completely. And then if you'll notice here, I've got a candle sitting here. Now you wanna add wax to it to firm this up at the end. And we're going to add our oils into this, and we'll have to strain this all off. But for now, we're going to cook this because capsaicin and eugenol are both oil soluble. So that means since petroleum jelly is an oil, it will soak in all of the properties from the hot peppers and the cloves. So the cloves, the eugenol, will give you a numbing property, while the capsaicin hot pepper will give you a warming sensation almost. I'm gonna add some of the candle wax, and like I said, this is a variable amount. I don't know how much candle wax to add per Vaseline, so you're gonna have to do some testing for yourself. If you've ever made salves or chapstick before, you'll know what I'm talking about here. All right, now I've got a bowl here and a colander here, and I'm just gonna take some paper towels, and I'm gonna line the bottom because we need to strain this. All right, now I'm stressing to you, this oil you've made is super infused with hot peppers and cloves. Do not touch your face whatsoever. Keep your face and fingers away from your face. And if you feel like you might have touched this stuff with your fingers, wash your hands. Like you can't wash your hands too many times. So I'm going to take an entire little dropper here of peppermint essential oil, and I'm just going to drop it right in. And actually, I'm going to do two because I like the cooling properties. And we're going to put a cap on that. Usually, I think recipes call for about 20 drops for a good salve total of essential oils that you can use, because it's supposed to be very potent. All right, and then I've got eucalyptus here. I'm going to add one full drop or two. It looks like there's about 8 drops in a dropper, so about 2.5 droppers full should be good. Now it's going to be very, very aromatic. And rinse it around there, and you should be able to see that this is now like the darkest orange color ever. It was clear, it is no longer. So I've got a little cooler mold here. Everybody loves coolers, right? So we're just gonna take this mixture, and I'm actually gonna spoon it into the cooler mold, and then we'll put it in the fridge and let it cool down for an hour or so. After it's all done, you should have a little puck like this, depending on what your mold is. Now, like I said, use more or less wax, depending on how malleable you want this to be. I'm going to put mine into a jar that I can just dip my finger in. So I want it to be a little bit stronger than Vaseline, but still kind of like, malleable here. But you can add wax all the way to making this the chapstick. Now, additionally, you can add more peppers, more cloves to your intensity. The more cloves you get, the more numbing you'll have, and the stronger the smell. The more peppers you put, the more tingling and a hot sensation you'll get. The more peppermint oil and eucalyptus you put, the more cooling sensation you'll get. So those are the effects that you'll get from these things. Try this out. We're going to try it on my back right now.
that leaves a color.
Eugenol and capsaicin should do the trick. Along with the peppermint oil, you should have a tingly, numbing feeling pretty quick. My whole back is pretty numb. So, enjoy your back pain-free day.